Greetings. This is your brother, Brother Willie Muhammad, with I Have a Testimony. Today, we'll be interviewing and hearing from a young and, in my opinion, an already legendary hip-hop music producer, Chicago's own DJ L.
My brother, being the evil genius he is, he had start hanging out over in Terrytown,
right?
No Limit,
Terrytown,
and you know, he started kicking it with his best friend at the time and stuff. So long story short, it just really turned into a situation in which he knew that I was a producer in need of some young, and he knew what his people needed. So he was like, yo, I'll pay for the website for you, but I need you to produce for my shorties. I say, well, who are your shorties? And he played me Herb.
You know, like L, when I first started rapping, recording, like seriously, I was fucking with L, you know? So like on the serious tip, that's like regular. Me and L, I could name on and on crazy that happened with him.
I'm gonna put it like this. You know, the only way I feel like a young urban black youth is gonna really make it in America is if you're doing something with entertainment.
I personally first became aware of this young guy due to the firestorm he was creating on a new social app known as Clubhouse, where his topic sparked much passionate discussion and debate and attracted big names in the industry.
The likes of Elliott Wilson, 21 Savage, Mike Will Made It were all in attendance. When DJ L questioned the purity of Lear Cohen's intention when moving throughout hip-hop, the man himself, Lear Cohen, was in attendance in the chat. And did DJ L hold his tongue? No. It is that energy that DJ L brings to the app that makes industry gatekeepers nervous of DJ L and his large following on the app. The misunderstanding of DJ L has been intentional.
So we're thankful for our brother for accepting the invitation to appear on I Have a Testimony. So let's get right down to the interview. Thank you, my brother.
Man, what's going on, brother? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So my first question is this. Can you take a few moments to share with the viewers the names of some of the hip hop artists you have worked with and some of the tracks that you have given them that have brought attention to their own careers?
Yeah, man. Well, that's very sensitive. I initially came in the game with the drill movement initially in early hip hop in Chicago in 2010. So it really was a situation. It was a lot of localized stuff that built the scene, and then I had big national tracks. So my biggest track today, I would say, is Chirac with Nicki Minaj, and everybody in rap. So I'll be naming everybody. But I had some records with Lil Uzi Vert. All my Chicago discography is, I'll be talking for an hour. But my big notable tracks was those things. But right now, most national blogs would say that I'm the guy that invented the current popular sound of hip hop, which is drill music. I invented that based off of some things I did, you know, in my life with just being in a band, musical influences in general, being in a band, drumline stuff. It's a culture of a localized thing here in Chicago called juke music. That's kind of like a house dancing thing, a combination of that, and obviously the soul background and gospel background of the city of Chicago. I'm kind of a melting pot of all those things, obviously with traditional national hip hop. So that's kind of my upbringing with that. So yeah, those are my mainstay tracks. I forget records. I worked on a lot of stuff, but like, you know, my main claim to fame is my discography with G Herbo in a little bit. So I Juice WRLD as well.
Yes, sir. So in preparation for this interview, you know, I came across how I learned something about you, how you were able to make a decision that many are not able to do when confronted with the opportunity of pursuing our dreams. So you were enrolled in a college and decided not to pursue the education and decide to go after your career in the music industry. So this is a two-part question. What allowed you to look past your fears and make the decision to not return to college and pursue your music career?
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say, man, I just believed and all that stuff. Like, I had a mentor named Anthony Wilson, and he gave me some advice about I was at the University of Illinois at the time, and he gave me some advice about leaving, and I took it. It was no brainer for me. I felt that my skills were at the level where I could go and professionally do this. I felt like I was ready to go to the NBA. I just needed the right mixture. I didn't know I was going to get the act that I ended up getting, and then it just worked, man. So I would say my collegiate. You gotta understand, like I'm a scholar. Like I'm a scholar at the heart of this. Like music is a chamber of what I'm great at, but I think I'm very good on a lot of different levels. So collegiately, I could have stayed in and been the top of everything. But I knew at that point, just to be perfectly honest, I didn't have interest, and I already kind of figured out the way that non-melanated people were going to award financial gain to our people, and I made a decision to pursue that based off of me understanding the amount of money I wanted to make and understanding that the way that they compensate, and I know this is big, bro, but I saw college as I didn't see it as a way to expand my learning because I already kind of knew a lot as far as knowledge of self. I already knew, I made a conscious decision to go into the world of the devil. We gonna put it like that.
Wow. So,
because I knew they was paying. I'll be honest. Let's be real. Let's not even play. I'm not gonna say. I made a conscientious decision to go into hell.
And we're gonna talk more about that. But that's why we have you on the show. I like your authenticity, my brother. So we're not asking you to turn that down at all. Many people, man, when sometimes I pass not funeral homes or graveyards, I think about all of the people who are buried in those cemeteries who did not pursue their dreams, right? So what advice would you give to others who are being held in this state of paralysis because of their fear and their doubt and concerns of others that's stopping them from pursuing what they have in their heart to really want to do?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. A dream is cool, right? But be realistic. Have proficiency in what you're doing. Be a master in what you are doing. People have dreams about stuff they don't have the talent for, or they don't have the skill set. Master something and then monetize. That's my thing. I have mastered what I was doing. I'm still working on it, but I had done enough to get to the professional level what I did. And that's what I feel like I was good at. My advice to people is right now, and I'm saying this, if you're Black, if you're African American, or whatever you want to identify yourself as of this melanated shade in this country, you don't have time to kind of dream. This is my opinion. We have to realistically look at things that could benefit us in totality right now, because us operating on this plane on these personal agendas is what's going to destroy Black America. And right now, I think that, dreaming is cool. Shit, excuse my language. I wanted to be a basketball player, somewhere, football player, whatever, and I could have pursued 7 years of attempting to do something that didn't take place because I wasn't the best at it. God makes us all the best at something, an achievement. And that's what I'm preaching. So if you're not achieving in something, don't pursue it. People want to be the best hairstylist and won't take the time to be proficient. Like they'll just do something because it's a financial whatever, right? So I just think my advice right now is, in this late hour, with some of our most prominent leaders and our best and brightest going to white institutions and all that stuff, we don't really have time to dream. We could pursue our passions, but it has to be something that benefits us as a whole, or we will not exist in our current state of, well, I won't say our current state, but we won't exist in a prominent state in this country ever. We got to really take an inventory of what is going on. So
yeah. So I want to go back to something that you said earlier, because I know as a viewer they're probably asking, like you said, you made a decision to enter into hell, right? So being that you made that decision, how are you balancing that with a person with the knowledge that you have?
Man, you know, it's funny, man. Like, that's funny. We're no different than Willie O'Neal, right? We're no different than the guy that pulled the trigger at the Autobahn ballroom, killed Malcolm X. Like, we are turncoats, but nobody want to admit it because they say they buy some goddamn shoes for the kid. No, bro, we do that with what we put out, what the beats we make, that we contribute. Right now, if I was in Nazi Germany, right, and I might not have been Hitler, I might have not been Goebbels, I might have not been any of those big names in the Nazi party, right? But if I was a guy, Albert Speer, right? Albert Speer was 26, 27 years old. He was just a builder. He was an architect. Watch this. And you had a guy like Hitler say, okay, this is a young guy as an architect. He ain't killing nobody, but he's building all this grandiose buildings. He got charged with war crimes. Now, he could just say, damn, I just built buildings. I just was a great builder, and Hitler gave me a shot. But they don't separate that in the world court, right? So why should we have the difference here? I help build buildings that contribute to the death and destruction of a lot of people. And I'm not proud of it. I'm living in the sky, and I'm riding foreign cars and all this at the behest of our people, bro. And we got to change that, man. I can't celebrate.
Go ahead. Make that point.
I can't celebrate us for, effing up the black community. Because we have. If I make a record called, I can't say it, but Kills, you know what? That's the name of our big record. Got 50 million views. You don't think one of those people may have said, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go do it. So that's the way the white man has set up his system. Because now, in order for me, for my family, for me to go learn more and live a certain way and wear certain things, and for my mama not to have this, and I got to get my people, and it's like we never really truly recovered off that slave boat. We got to understand this. It's like if I'm Fulani tribe and you're Yoruba, right? Or whatever, I'm just saying some tribes, I could be incorrect historically. And we're on the boat and we both get to Georgia, right? And we're different in nature based off these countries. And you Fulani, you run away. And I'm Yoruba. And the master say, man, where's this guy? You get this nigga, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to sell him out. I'm Yoruba, and that that's a or you might be a Georgia dude. Oh, that's my brother Ben X. I said, and you know what I'm saying. You might have a guy from Georgia and a slave from, let's say, Virginia. You a nigga from Virginia. You a nigga from this. What the point I'm trying to say is those differences have been. It's the Willie Lynch. It's been exacerbated here. So when we do certain things, because I know we got to go. Right. When we do certain things, it's kind of unconscious. Like subconsciously, I do it. I love the brother. I call him the brother, right? At the end of the day, I'm making my money.
But we're gonna come back on that. Let's pause for our first set of commercial breaks, and we'll be right back with our brother DJ L. Thank you all for tuning into National Network View.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps us to highlight solutions for a brighter tomorrow. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.
The hashtag Bank Black social media campaign made strides not only in revolutionizing how we bank, but also how we think. The movement inspired thousands of African Americans across the country to transfer or deposit millions of dollars into Black-owned banks. These are banks that will invest in urban communities, employ African Americans, support Black businesses, and inspire Black home ownership. This is a very proud moment for our culture as we are taking small, but significant, steps towards building Black power through Black wealth.
Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at National Network View. I am Anissa Muhammad with nnvnews.com.
Welcome back to National Network View, and we have with us our guest, Brother DJ L. Let me say this before we show this clip and get into this next question, my brother. You are in the hip hop industry, as we talked about prior to the show, where it is rare for people who profit from the music to be outspoken about the content of the music. But you do not shy away from talking about the harmful impact of the content, but you also talk about the dilemma as is shown in this clip.
When I produce the music, and you know, they like some of these raps on it, man, and I really listen to that man. It's cold, but really ain't talking about man. It's talking about killing other Black people, man. We're influential towards kids. Ain't nothing gonna change, and we tried. I could go right now and say, stop the violence, stop the killing. Man, they gonna kill a nigga right down the street. Now I'm gonna beg to differ. I'm gonna be the voice of reason. If Chief Keef stopped rapping gangster, he broke. If Herb stopped rapping the way he rapping, he's not gonna make any money. So think about this. At the end of the day, you will really be disenfranchising more Black people by telling him not to do it because he's not gonna make no money. That's the dilemma, man.
So
damn, I forgot I said that. That shit was wrong.
But it's real. So knowing, I could tell you were younger then. So looking at that clip then and seeing where you are now, what do we do to handle the dilemma that brothers face themselves in and where you even find yourself in?
I'll be honest, man. This the thing, man. And this is why I rock with Ben X real tough. Cause like, it's the thing, man. Like, it's a lot of ways to make money now. Jay-Z just shows you, man. Like, and I'm not a Jay-Z fan. I really dislike the brother a lot, I'll be honest. Because I feel like he'll play woke and then play another game. But what am I saying? I'm saying that finance is the key to everything. Blacks clearly don't have any finance, but we control the culture. I know guys in my neighborhood that actively just fly around LA to find some white person to trick out of some money. Like some weird white dude that just got money sitting around. Look at Jay-Z. Like, prime example, Jay-Z is Jay-Z, right? And he used his leverage to convince a guy that's in a whole other sector to buy a company that's failing because he's Black. It's cool. We are the coolest people on planet Earth. Black man is God. I don't care about, you know, when you ask me why don't I have a problem speaking my man, what black man is God? What are you gonna do to me? I'm just saying, I don't even care. What can you do to me? You can't affect nothing I got. I don't care. I'm gonna put an executive out there on your show, Joshua Bergman. Joshua Bergman was Nicki Minaj manager. I made the first money I made with him through my partner. And I had stuff posted from the minister and Elijah Muhammad. And, it's a slave that, this infamous picture with the slave got his back all toe up. Will Smith's playing his character. And he confronted me in an Atlantic Records studio about this. Like, what is this? Like, nigga, that's the truth. Black man is God, white man is devil. Father. Now, you want to still pay me? I mean, look, hey, what the brother say? I forget his name. He said, man, the slave master, businessman too. You got what you want. You got what you want. What am I saying? Hip hop is powerful, but remember, let's go to the timeline. Rap is a baby of the Nation of Islam. That's what it is. When you talk about cipher, God body, knowledge is born. You know what I'm saying? But all these terms, that's mosque terminology, temple terminology that the kids is using. All praise to my God, and whatever, right? They're not gonna say Allah, but they might say all praise to my God. I've been, man, listen, we dudes will use that. Dudes will be killed the nigga, excuse my language, and I'll be like, man, and you'll order a pepperoni pizza in the studio or something, and they be like, man, I don't eat no pork, bro. Like, how you gonna be half conscious? Like that's what's going on. We all battling. So we'll take what we want. What Herb say, the minister says his line. What he say? He do take the parts he wants to do it. But what am I saying, man? I'm saying that I use it on a revolutionary basis. A lot of people feel how I feel, but they're not gonna say it. I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got dudes that, hang that nigga. You seen Django? Yeah, tear that niggas up. He was the most revolutionary one in that moment, but he played the role because we in this man's house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. One thing I learned from the nation is the discipline, bro. You gotta understand, man. Like, I'll be on Clubhouse wilding out. I'll see the brothers coming in solid. Just all of my life. It's just about operating discipline. You gotta understand, like, the reality is this. Our people, look at Atlanta this weekend. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm just getting to the point. Look at Atlanta, Georgia this weekend. All these, ninjas or whatever, I'm trying to clean it up right, went down to Atlanta and to get their minds off the fact that their lives are in peril. Event-based. That's that slave mentality stuff. That's what the brother Tariq Nasheed was talking about, right? He ain't the only person said, but I heard it from him. That makes sense. Want to give him his credit, but he was saying, man, and these slave plantations had these events. So Christmas, you would get off. So us as black, we are ceremonial people. We like these certain events, we would be happy. So we want the All-Star game, we want the birthday, because the rest of this time you got to be a slave for this cracker. So the reality is.
So let me ask you this. With all that and what you're talking about, and you said it early, you said it several times, like you said, in regards to the negative effects of hip hop music. So this is a two-part question. One, from your perspective, is there a way that this music, hip hop in particular, can be used to reach and enlighten you, or it's just put it all in the trash?
Let's just be 100, man. Let's not man. Listen, I remember Farrakhan said, man, one rap verse was I might be mangling his words, but it was like 1,000
of his lectures.
Yeah, but who am I to alter that? But I would alter it a little bit just being in it, and I think the minister would accept it. I think that it has the power, but not the righteousness. What am I saying? Like, yeah, because negative is going to outshine positive. Like right now, Meg Thee Stallion I love the sister to death, right? She's probably a person that is, a beacon to black women. And she said protect black women, but this other song she's talking about shaking her ass. So you doing just as much harm. But it's cool to say it. It's cool to say, oh, protect black women. But you telling them sell their vagina and all that. So you just as bad. You cracking the whip in a different way. So it's like we hypocritical. And then when somebody want to say that, they want to jump on you because we, man, I'm telling you, I'm not a registered Muslim, but I will say this, man. The lessons being to people that don't have the knowledge of self to have the discipline to use them, it really was detrimental because when you look what it did, the lessons getting out started hip hop. It started hip hop. So the reality is, man, it can't be used like conscious hip hop. Nobody's listening to that in no club. Jesus walks, cool, but Jesus, the image of Jesus to destroy more niggas in hip hop, so they elect that role. You want to, I'm just saying, let's just be real.
But for example, for a producer like yourself, you've made hits, what will happen if we got, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you too. One of my issues with a lot of the conscious rappers is that you got the content, but they're missing the tracks. So what would happen if one of those who can clearly rap and they have the content would team up with somebody like yourself? You don't think
but we gotta understand,
a winning team?
But rapping conscious not gonna make people act intelligent. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, let's talk about, I'm just giving you an example. The 90s, early 90s, you had all them Black Power rappers. Just be real. They wasn't writing exact themselves, so they was talking about all that. And, all praise be, a lot of niggas was drinking 40 ounces. So it was just like,
not all of them.
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just, look, we talking, like, my thing is this. If I got 10 kids and 2 are doing good and the rest I failed.
Gotcha.
Right now, I'm just saying, I'm not saying let's give up. All I'm saying is let's be realistic, is that hip hop is being passed down like the cotton industry to white people. We ain't inheriting nothing. Right now, all these rappers is how they file a chapter bankruptcy and whatever. Like, but Atlantic Records, they passing it down. These others is passing it down. What am I saying? Like truthfully, we have a real problem in America. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is truth. You take, if you think it's true, cool. I'm just being honest, man. I don't really produce music no more. I just eat off what I did, and like even like Lil Baby. Okay, so you said, okay, so let's say let's say Lil Baby talks some consciousness on the trap beat, right? Off of what he's saying, if they play it in a club, if he's talking about, like, because he did it with the bigger picture, right? That's not his hit. They just like it, but his hit is still we paid for niggas stuff in the good. I'm just saying. So it's not they're going to promote it. It's just what it is. So the reality is, this is what I'm saying, man. Right now, in my position, I feel like the roles have changed. Rap has kind of helped certain Black people rule over other Black people and sell them out. So what good is it for me to ride in a Mercedes and all this, and then the general public is trash? They can't get their stuff together because I'm getting paid because I'm rapping about P and A and pills and all this sort of thing. We accompanying the devil with his mission, and we self-perpetuating now. Like Meg Thee Stallion was born. I'm just using her because I see a lot of women saying that she's getting conscious, but I'm like, how? How are you getting conscious? You talking about saving Black women? And all these records are about pussy and ass. I hate to say it, you got to make it plain. And it's like, that's counterproductive. Like, if you're going to make a full change, make it. But a person don't want to go back to the plantation. They want to keep living in the big house.
But that's
the dynamic that's been created.
That's you said some very great stuff. And there's a question I want to ask you regarding this as we come back after this break. But I appreciate your candidness, man, and what you're saying. And we need to have a larger discussion. So we'll be right back For those, thank you all for tuning into National Network View. We'll be right back.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1 ounce 39 millimeter coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Thank you for tuning in to NNV News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, National Network View. This is Clifton Muhammad with NNVnews.com.
During the intro of this show, we spoke about how our young brother DJ L attracts thousands of people to Clubhouse to talks that spark many powerful discussions on topics that are relevant to Black people.
London is not some troll who only seeks attention. DJ L uses his ability to take controversial conversations and infuse them with humor, knowledge, and heart. What many of his followers on the Clubhouse app have found is that they feel his chat rooms are truly a safe space for Black people to share their raw emotions without being silenced. DJ L is not as famous as Tyrese, but he has the charisma to hold engaging conversations 3 times as long.
So we're back. So, Brother DJ, here's a question I want to ask you. Listening to what you're saying, so what do we do? Because the music industry is still here. Do we just give it all to those who produce that type of music, or lay down, or like, what can we do?
My solution is this, is that Blacks need to operate on a cancerous basis. What do I mean? Or a cancerous type of mentality. We have to treat, man, look, the Nation of Islam say all the time, no fraternizing with the dead. I hate to say it, it's kind of like that's what's got to happen, man. We can't correct everyone, and we know that. But the people that can be corrected, the people that can be positioned to be right is that we need to do that. And also, I think that a very feasible solution is we need to, I understand when COVID is difficult, we need a inventory taken of what our people can do. You know, we need to know what skills do we really have. Like, music is cool. That's all right. Everybody can't be a rapper. We literally need a counting of how many Black doctors we got in the state of Illinois, how many Black doctors we got in the state of Virginia, in the state of California. We need a entire, in my opinion, inventory taken of who's the doctors, the lawyers, the scientists, and we need to have them set in departments in a rank and file system, regimented in a coordinated system with communication that is encrypted, so we can communicate and talk to one another. Because what's going to happen is this, man. is that it's really coming down to what you can do and what you can't do. And I'm gonna say this, lastly, and break this down, bro. The white man brought us here to pick cotton. That's why we was brought here. Really brought us here to do some other stuff, excuse me. And then cotton was just the thing, right? And in that moment, you had a big reproductive movement because other English nations or European nations were competing with one another to who can make the most money. So what am I saying? England, not caring about blacks, said, you know what, America, you can't import blacks. We had the biggest navy at the time. So they stopped it. So the white man in that moment was like, okay, well, let's breed more blacks. Let's breed them like a dog. And you start getting a surplus of humans to do this labor. All right. So now you got this is the part of our history we want to talk about, these sex farms, and this all goes to the music, right? So you might have Big Bubba, right? That the master called him Big Bubba. And he fathered maybe 300 chillings. He just was having sex. He was inseminating these women on these sex farms in Virginia, Maryland, all that, right? And sending them out all through the country. So now you don't know the true heritage of your people. That's a disconnect right there. But now when slavery ends, because the North and the South is battling, because of money, and that industry dies, you have no different than in these black communities, you have these leftover factories for stuff that ain't being made. So what's going on? You got these leftover blacks who are bound to the continent by heritage and built this thing, and blood has been spilled. And now, what was funny, man, when we exited slavery in 1864 and right before Reconstruction, we had all the skills. We did everything of a skill set in this country. So now, 200-something years later, you might have maybe say 1950 or 60, right? You might have a black woman who knew how to plant a turnip green to feed you. Now, not so much. The skills have not proliferated down to our generation. It was a whitewashing of skill sets. I think what Elijah Muhammad did that was so brilliant, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was to teach us that the agricultural part of our people is what built this, and we can't do it for them and not do it for ourselves.
Right.
And I think right now,
good. That's a question That's a question I want to come to you and ask you, but I want to ask you this first, because in regards to this clubhouse, because I think that not only the content that you bring there, but also your celebrity status has helped to play a role as well. So it's a two-part question. What inspired you to use Clubhouse in such a way? Because you could have been on Clubhouse talking about any and everything.
I was just on that with my friends, and I just being me. I just took it over. Black man is God. They can't stop us. We run like you play with us. We on your line, like black man is God. Period. So what because you kind of cut me off before. I'm not saying all blacks need to go to agriculture, but we need to really assess who still know how to plant, who know how to build a computer, who know how to build an app, who know how to do these daily essentials in the case of emergency, who knows how to cook proficiently, who could teach, who is some of the people that could be doers and some of the people that could be teachers to teach this skill. Some people are good at stuff and can't teach it. Like, we got to have a real, because you asked for a solution, we got to have a real assessment of nation building. Because right now, I'm just hearing a lot of niggas talking. Everybody talking, everybody want to have their podcast, everybody want to talk about this and that. But the reality is that we are in America living other than ourselves. And we were found, right? But we still got people that's lost and dead. I'm dead. Shit, I'm going to be real. I'm dead. Because I'm going to go right out here to brunch and kick it with my friends, right? But the reality is we're trying to arise from a dead state to a living perpendicular. That's what we're trying to do. So it's like I can't sit here and act like I got a lot of time because I'm 29 and I don't. Every day I'm coming closer to the angel of death. It could be over. I could walk out of here. Something could happen. So I don't care about no career status or relationships with people I don't like because I can't make life do. I'm cool with where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep progressing and do what we got to do because the Underground Railroad is back. You got to understand, man. It's no blueprint because the reality is, you know, and I just got the memo about the curse, I understand, but we just got to make it plain that we are in a state of emergency. Like right now, you seeing Black centers be attacked. You seeing Black structures being attacked. You seeing Black masculinity being attacked. You seeing Black femininity being attacked. You seeing dudes that you thought was Black power, justice, or else. You seeing these dudes get allegations of doing all type of, you know, devilish, you know, and I've done my share of stuff too. All I'm saying is right now, we got to make a real decision that we're going to get on the right side of this is we're going to perish. And honestly, man, I'm not focused on rap music. I don't care.
Right.
Because the reality is that the rappers you think got all this money really don't got no money. They get trinkets. You know,
I can tell that you really, even though the music industry may have giving you a start, but I can tell you're done with it for a variety of reasons. So the thing is this, you know, all of us have our spheres of influence. So what do you think you can do? Like even with yourself, with your friends, your connection, your network. What are some things that you can do to help in regards to this forward movement of Black people? And what are you doing already? I know you're doing some stuff.
Yeah, what I'm doing is this. I'm honestly, this is the thing, man. Inaction with a proper course of action is better than doing a lot of stuff wrong because you got to clean up that. So when people be asking what you doing now, you got all these opinions. Right now, I'm looking at the chessboard and what the hell is really going on. When Jay-Z selling all his companies back to the white man to liquidate, what's going on? You got to understand what's going on when you have an influx of cats that are cool with a certain lifestyle being promoted in the music. What's going on? How this stuff gonna look 50 years from now? All I'm saying is the best thing you could do as a Black man is to get 3 young Black men or young boys and identify what that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really a dilemma of the ages, man. I'm not here to to push problems, right? But we got to understand, we bound to this continent by heritage. They have not given us nothing. We could do for self, right? But it sounds way better than it actually is in movement. Now watch this. Elijah Muhammad was doing it. 60s and 70s, you had Black-owned restaurants, Black-owned stores, Black-owned everything, Black-owned cleaners, Black-owned, right? Then you had situations like Tulsa, where they had all this prosperous stuff, but there was no defense. So now they was able to just come in there and do whatever they want. What am I saying? I think that rap music, which the arts, and me and Brother Willie Muhammad had a very deep conversation about this, maybe in 2015 or 16, about the importance of the arts in conjunction to the state of emergency that's going on in our community. And the reality is this. On the affirmative, I said, I believe emphatically that arts is taking a back seat to what, like, for real. Like me making the beat, I can't make a beat if we have climate shaking emergencies. Like, prime example, you know, we could do what we can, but I really think right now, like Marcus Garvey and Elijah Muhammad, to me, are the greatest of all time. You know why? Because Elijah had the plan in place to coexist over here, right? But I think I like Garvey and his mindset of saying, hey, we got to have a real accounting of what we can do. Really, Booker T. Washington, not Garvey. I attribute him. Booker T. Washington's accounting of let's assess our skill level to have trade with the white man in a nationhood form was the best solution for our people, in my opinion. And I think Elijah Muhammad was he showed you how to do that in real time. So
right. We're going to pick back up on that on that comment. So thank you all for tuning in. We're going to pause for a brief announcement.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps us to highlight solutions for a brighter tomorrow. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.
He anointed our head with oil till our cup runneth over. He who, Master Farrakhan, Muhammad, that is he.
Greetings from National Network View. This week's Final Call cover story headlines, Savior's Day 2021. How strong is the foundation? Can we survive? The Nation of Islam's first virtual Savior's Day convention was a great success. Entering into 91 years of service, the annual NOI celebration was filled with inspiration. Plenary sessions focused on aspects of the nation's 9 ministries, as well as challenges and solutions facing the Black nation as America's downward spiral continues. Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad delivered the Sunday lecture at the National Center Mosque Mariam to a socially distanced audience that was broadcast to the world through NOI.org. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan surprised the audience, appearing to deliver a special message that lasted a little over an hour. This Final Call number 22 edition middle page features the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Happy Savior's Day. To read more, subscribe to finalcalldigital.com and tune in to the all-new Final Call Radio. This is the nnvnews.com Final Call cover report.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is someone that many who desire to have a better relationship with the hip-hop community should study. In countless interviews, he has shared his mindset when it comes to interacting with members of the hip-hop community. Check it out.
I don't like to knock rappers. I love them. And I see their greatness beyond themselves. And I'm always trying to pull on what I know is in them. But there are forces that don't want to see us change. So how do we stop it? A collective action on our part against the executive.
You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan looks to elevate and educate these talented artists instead of condemning and judging them at the stage that they're in when he meets them, as he says in this clip.
Because you meet with a lot of artists.
Yes.
You meet with a lot of artists.
When they sit down with me, I'm not their judge. Elijah Muhammad said to me, when I'm gone, brother, you may sit in my seat as the father over the house in my absence. I love my people. I live and I will die to see our people free. When I meet a rapper, I'm looking at the God within him, that he has 5 million, 10 million followers. You don't magnetize 10 million followers unless you have a great gift. And that gift comes from only one source, he who gives the gift, that's God. But you're using your gift improperly. You're using your gift to feed filth and degeneracy to your people. But all we need to do is sit with you and then turn your gift in the right direction, and then you'll have 5 million followers that you teach and raise and make a difference in their lives.
So we're back with our guest, our brother DJ L. DJ L, in addition to the stuff that I do, man, here in the city of New Orleans, I'm also an educator. And I can tell you, man, if I were to mention to my students, hey, I'm talking to DJ L today and talk about your work with G Herbo, and Lil Bibby, they'll be all like this, waiting to receive anything else that you have to tell them. So I know, like in regards to how you feel about the hip hop industry, but I'm telling you, man, with your past history, even the way like the enemy does, they take our stars to feed us poison. And sometimes we got to find a way how to take the people that they have caught us to love, to be able to feed our people the actual truth. And I'll get to this question. I know you'll comment on that. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I've seen numerous pictures of the minister with various hip-hop artists, entertainers in the city of Chicago. I'm not from Chicago, I'm from New Orleans. How is the minister viewed in Chicago from your perspective?
God. And fair, man, look, man, let me explain something to y'all, man. You know, I would speak from the heart. Look, the reality is this, man. Like, because you just asked so much, and I'm trying to thought. So to your initial question, the reality is that the whole black celebrity thing, it's kind of dying, man. Like, you have a and not to refute what the minister was saying, I believe what he said is right and exact. I know what he said is right and exact, but I want to make an amendment to that. And the reality is, it's the 5 and 10 million. Man, a lot of them people don't really even care about who they follow. They just want somebody to look at. And the moment that they flip the script on some positive stuff, they're going to go to somebody. So it's just like, what I'm saying is, you can't reform the devil. You can't reform him. I'm not saying that our people that's rapping are the devil. What I'm saying is that it's like DMX. Let's look at Brother DMX. He got a song called Lord Give Me a Sign. And then he got a song called Rough Riders Anthem. Now, you tell me which one did more numbers. Different era, right? What am I saying? I'm saying right now, I'm not judging nobody. They judging themselves. Like right now, I can sit here and make beats and do all that. I understand that we're doing something wrong. I'm not looking at it and saying, you know what, I'm going to let it persist because I'm cool with it. I'm not cool with it. I'm getting money. I'm in, but I know this is wrong. And it's like, the reality is this. All them dudes, don't let them get up here and lie. They know what's going on, and they really are part of the problem. I'm not here to tell them that. I'm going to provide the information, and we're going to do the work. Now, the kids that with the names, oh, you know this guy, that guy, but that's cool. But I noticed with the social media era, we really don't care. That's the whole Clubhouse dynamic. We don't care about your status and your whatever. Nobody's beyond reproach in this moment. So I think hip hop has already been conquered. It's already been compromised. Conscious rap, meaningful rap, it's a market for it. But I'm saying, like, I just don't personally see those songs being there to change the conscience of blacks. I think that it's better to use those positions to go talk to them and say, hey, this is what up. And you got to have a tangible solution. They're going to write you off too.
I agree.
Like right now, I'm listening.
Do you think in regards to, I know sometimes we can become disappointed.
I didn't touch on Farrakhan's impact in Chicago as well, so I'll get to that.
Well, go ahead and touch on that first, and we'll talk. Go ahead. What do you?
Yeah, the minister is like the man. Like, bro, you play with the minister, man. You might have a Christian run up on you in this city. Like, it's just like, I'm just saying, like the minister is loved, he's respected nationwide, but really here in Chicago, like my mom literally lives behind Mom's Miriam. So the reality is, like, Farrakhan the minister means a lot, you know, and the reality is that as he gets older, I think he means more because people understand, they understand the work. You start seeing these years and Savior's Day 04, Savior's Day 09, Savior's Day, I mean, just all these messages and these moments and stuff. And I think, I'll be honest, man, I think that in Chicago, you know, this is a city of names, right? His name is definitely in the top 5 most influential black men to ever walk in this city. He's not even from Michael Jordan, not from, but I mean, but people have a generally, man, you go right now and do a poll amongst black people in Chicago, 90% approval rating, Mr. Farrakhan, not 100. And if it's not the 10% that's saying no, you're gonna have 100 dudes out your door like, what's going on? And not out of because they understand what the work that the brother has done for us, And we love the minister, man.
Brother, as I was saying in regards to you're very versed from my understanding with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I've noticed that sometimes, man, people can begin to be disheartened and heartbroken because they're trying to get the masses, right? Trying to get the masses to hear a message and make a change. But I always think about the history we've been taught about Yaqub. Here's a man that we're taught who only used less than 60,000 people to create a world that we're still dealing with today. So, and I think that in regards of us trying to right this wrong, we make a mistake by trying to get the masses instead of focusing on a select few of a certain mindset and begin to start building and planning to put things.
Look how the nation started in the room.
Yeah,
and it grew. And I want to say this lastly, because I know, just how I feel. The Nation of Islam, why I have so much reverence for it, and I've heard both sides of the coin. People pro-nation, anti-nation, whatever, right? But you got to understand in that moment, bro, and I had the conversation on Clubhouse about this, and I was going in on guys. In that moment, we had nothing. You had, man, I want to make it plain. Man, we was running around wearing zoot suits. We was eating pig. We were just in a really dead state. We're still in a dead state based off of, they changed the board when we went in the game. But I will say this, though, is just the terminology, man. Like half the Christian preachers name Jamal, Kareem. How you up there talking about cracking Jesus and you got a holy name? I'm just saying, like, that's the influence because people took what they wanted. I'll be honest, it really, it was, something like, you ever have a hot plate and you try to heat something, you put that hot, it's too hot. It was too hot, man. That stuff, the teachers of Honorable Elijah Muhammad were so progressive. So it was the average black household out here hearing that stuff, it rocked them. If you look at the Fred Hampton movie, watch this. And this is important. I want to say this, and this go to hip hop. Because a lot of people say Fred Hampton was inspiration as far as like the pros and just saying Curtis Mayfield with the rap, like a lot of the early guys, Ali it inspired the rappers, the young black progressive guys with the knowledge and stuff, right? But the reality is this. You got to give them this. All of them okay, how can I say this? Okay. Malcolm X was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Honorable Elijah Muhammad made him his spokesman, his representative to wake up blacks, right? And he had a young voice, he spoke well, whatever, right? It worked, right? And it inspired a lot of people who didn't understand the discipline that you had to have to be able to talk and teach those teachers. When Malcolm X, I love Malcolm, I picked him on my house and everything.
We got one more minute. We got one more minute. Go ahead, make your point.
When he was lockstep with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because this is important. We got to go over time because people got to hear this. That stuff was changing lives. It was 40, 50 temples in like 2-3 years. He went crazy, right? And then he broke away. Now watch this. Now you got now keep in mind, let's say Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was born in 1948, 47, something like this. So that means at 58, 57, he's like 10 years old. So I'm 10 years old hearing the black man's God, white man's devil. I'm hearing the square miles of the planet. Listen, in these messages, pre-internet, pre-Instagram, this is pre-open thought. Black folks are still saying, yes, sir, boss. It's groundbreaking. It's revolutionary. It's like an iPhone in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Watch this. So in the movie, because I got to break the next point. In the movie, now we don't know if none of this happened. You got a scene in the movie where Fred Hampton's reciting Malcolm X, the Ballad of the Bullet. He's reciting it line for line, right? Showing that this dude inspired, like you never heard, he's inspiring you. It's like if Julius Erving, Michael Jordan saw how Julius Erving played and now he want to play that way. So that's what happened, right? But ultimately he met his demise because he was talking that way, but he wasn't in the bosom of the mosque under the teachings of Elijah Muhammad with the
we got to wrap up. We got to wrap up, man. But your point is well taken, man.
Y'all get the point. The point is a big point, but you know, I'll do a video on it at another time.
Definitely. So thank you, my brother, thank you for being the guest on our show. And we thank all of those who are actually also tuning into NNV News Network. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, and maybe hopefully we can do a part 2 of this or another larger discussion about hip hop and Black people. Thank you.
God came to us to seek and to save that which was lost. He raised a man from among us. He, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, laid the foundation. What I'm doing is something that comes from him through me, and the thing that he uses in me to do the work is my faith in him and the word that he taught. To produce men and women who wanted to clean up their life and build an independent nation for the glory of God.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.